Happy Saturday! Welcome back to Kevin Toll Reads. Today we have the second entry into the Saturday Shorts, and today you get two for the price of one. And we're going to start off with Dean Koontz. And the first short story we're going to review is Trapped, which is part of his collection in Strange Highways. This was published in 1995. The short story Trapped deals with the themes of being trapped and is 42 pages long. But it's not just specifically trapped in the way you would think it is. It really is about trapped from a moral standpoint, our situation, by small things, by emotions, by loss. And so we'll get right into this. The summary of this short story really revolves around Meg and Tommy Lassiter. Meg is recently a widow, and Tommy is recently fatherless, as his father and her husband Jim was killed by a drunk driver not too far from their home by a local bar on his way home, and someone hit him head on. And so obviously you can tell right away that there is the whole trap thing with her feelings and how she's doing and trying to be there for Tommy. But you also get the feeling of trapped because Tommy recently broke his leg and he's feeling trapped because it's winter and he wants to be outside enjoying snow days, and he can't do so with having a cast. What makes this story kind of interesting is you also have this plot thread about this company, there's a biological laboratory that is not too far from their residence, and it's called Bilomech. And you get to see at the beginning of the story that this facility had some kind of breach in protocol, and it has something to do with rats. And so that's where the story kind of takes a left turn out of the nowhere, and it becomes really, really interesting. What makes this really good, in my opinion, is the emotions, the dread, the sense of what's going to happen. And you also deal at the same time with the plot thread of a lost loved one for Meg. Again, Tommy feeling like, he loses his dad, then he has a cast and he's kind of feeling downtrodden. But definitely some impending dread is what the overarching theme of the story is. Then you get some side characters in Ben, who works for Bilomech. He also shares a similar bond to Meg that comes into play down the story, and being a widower himself. I really think this is a good short story because it's kind of like this pressure cooker type. It's very slow and it just keeps building and ratcheting up the tension throughout. I really enjoy Doofus, which is Meg and Tommy's dog. It is a Labrador, and some of the ways that Koontz writes the dog it's really well done. Like, you almost kind of get the personality from the dog and its anxiety and emotions. And so I really thought that was really neat. I get a lot of vibes in this short story from Stephen King's 1922. Also, the novella Rat from the short story or the compilation If It Bleeds. And so, yes, it has rats in it. You'll get to know them when you read this. Definitely recommend this short story. I thought it was really, really good. I had a couple really key moments in some excerpts that I want to share. There was one that says, she has one great advantage of this high-tech Hamlin plague. She was a mother with a child to protect, and that made her a force. And I read that and I was like, oh, let's freaking go. And so she really does. Meg does a really, really good job. She stands very strong as a female character. And so you get a sense that throughout a really short span of 40 pages. Another one was where Meg says, what kind of world has it become where men created their own goblins? And so that was a really interesting line. Overall, I rated this a 4.4. I thought it was great. Really worthwhile. I haven't read Koontz in a long time. And so to get this quality of a short story in 40 pages, I thought was really, really speaks highly of him as an author. Definitely gets me excited to want to continue on in some of these others in this compilation, but I really enjoyed it. So with that being said, we're going to move on to the next one. And this one was complete. If you caught my trail video yesterday, I kind of teasered out that my first one was going to be Dean Koontz, but I didn't say anything about the second one, nor did I say what the Dean Koontz story was, but I did let you know it was going to be, Dean Koontz was going to be one of the authors. The second short story comes from this compilation by Otto Penzler, Biblio Mysteries, and specifically it's the short story An Acceptable Sacrifice by Jeffrey Deaver. And I haven't read Deaver in quite some time, so I was kind of really excited to get into this one as well. This compilation came out in 2013. This short story is the first one in this collection of short stories. All of these short stories deal with, in some manner of a way, around books or bookstores. And so I thought that was really interesting. When I first started reading this short story, I didn't really get the sense that it had anything to do with books. And then it hooks you in and you get to see how books play a role in the short story. This short story was 42 pages, I think 41 pages as well, right in that kind of length. And there's a lot that happens. So the summary of this short story by Deaver, you have PZ Evans. He's a kind of a CIA spook intelligence, operative, and he hooks up with a guy named Diaz. They are in Mexico, around Sonora, Mexico, and their target is a man that goes by the code name of Chuchillo, and it's AKA the Knife. And so he apparently is supposedly this drug cartel kingpin for the Hermosillo drug cartel. And so Washington, D.C. has sent Evans to kind of hook up with Diaz locally there, and is giving them a time frame on how or when they should take out Chuchillo, because the time frame is in a few days, because apparently the local intel there is that Chuchillo plans on taking out a bus, which buses are very, very common in Mexico, and there's a lot of people that use it for transportation. And so they don't know which bus, but apparently he wants to kind of do this, and it happens to coincide with the president of Mexico making an announcement about the anniversary of his putting his feet down against drug smuggling and cartel and his war against drugs. And so Chuchillo wants to, strike a blow back at the president by doing so, by doing this bombing. And so as they're planning their mission, they uncover that Chuchillo is heavily guarded and it's going to be very difficult, and he has his own compound and security profile with him. And it was interesting in reading that. They came, in doing their kind of grassroots intel, they come across the fact that Chuchillo has one vice that they may be able to leverage or exploit, and it's books. And so then that's when I'm like, okay, now I see how this fits in. And so that's kind of the premise of the story. Definitely not going to spoil it by telling you how it kind of concludes and ends. And it was really interesting. I really liked how this one ended really well. What makes this really good is I liked Chuchillo as a character. You get to see a little more into him. I thought Deaver flushed his character out really well. He's definitely intriguing and mysterious as a bad guy. There was parts as they're kind of getting closer and trying to doing their intel, they start questioning, is he really a bad guy type thing? And so you get a little bit of that. I liked PZ Evans, the American kind of CIA spook intelligence officer. I thought he was kind of a fly by the seat of his pants, but there's a very nice twist to it all. Diaz, I thought, was an interesting supporting character. He's not as fleshed out as Chuchillo or Evans is in this story, but I thought it was really neat. The twists at the end were really cool. I really enjoyed that. You get really a lot of vibes of kind of like Mission Impossible morphed with Ocean's 12 reveal at the end, which I really enjoyed. Anything I really disliked, if I had one criticism on this one, I would think I would like a little more, I want a little more from it, maybe a little 10, 15 more pages to kind of flesh out some more character development. Whereas on the Koontz one, I thought the character development was really good and was really more thoroughly fleshed out. This one, not all of the main characters were as fleshed out as I would like them. It still was a really good, really good story. And this one, the title also had themes in it as well. I mean, you're dealing with kind of hitmen, the CIA, government, spycraft. But I thought the title of Acceptable Sacrifice has meaning both to the characters as well, but to Chichillo's love of books as well. So this one I rated a 4 out of 5. I thought it was solid. I enjoyed it. Both of these short stories were just one settings, take my notes, then go back through, highlight, key areas type thing, kind of skim read different areas that I wanted to make mention in this video. Again, I liked both of them. It was nice, change of pace. I wanted to, try this out. When I picked this up from the book haul, I thought this was really cool. And so I definitely wanted to, throw one of these short stories in the mix here on this episode. So I'm looking forward again to next week in doing another video in this series. I'm really enjoying the shorts. I'll probably do another 2 again because it just seemed like it worked well. Be 2 different authors again, so be on the lookout for that. It'll be a surprise again. So I hope you enjoy this. I really enjoy these kind of like smaller micro reviews of these short stories, and I'm really enjoying it. So hope you're having a great Saturday. Hope you're enjoying your long weekend. I will definitely enjoy it myself, and I got a lot looking forward. We'll definitely get into my weekly wrap-up tomorrow, as well as what's on the horizon. So hope you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks.